Oh, that's a good looking breakfast there. That'll start the day off right. Now let me see what we got here. Oh, looks like we got 1, 2, 3 eggs. And oh, that one's a double yolk. That's got to be good. And those are large eggs. So they got 3 grams of protein apiece. So that'll give me 18 grams right there. And then I got these 3 fine looking brown sausage links. Oh yeah, they got 3 grams of protein each. That's another 9 grams. And then 2 slices of toast right over there. Yeah, each slice has 2 grams of protein. Oh, that'll give me 31 grams of protein to start my day off right. Oh yeah, this is going to be good. Because I need the protein if I don't want to fade away. Hey, did somebody knock on the door? Gracie, check who's at the door. It could be our friends and family. Oh yeah, that's looking mighty fine. That'll start my day off fine. Yep, on the way to building up muscle mass, increasing my brain power, and not shrinking so fast. Oh, well, hello there, friends and family. Was that you all knocking on the door and Gracie let you in? Well, as always, you're always welcome here in the little old country kitchen. And we're glad you stopped by. So, hey, I've got a few things I want to talk to you about that are rather important in our lives. So if you'd like, pull up a chair, grab a snack and a cold drink, and let's talk about something we may not be getting enough of, and it's vital as we age. Okay? So y'all, what were we talking about today? Well, it's obvious. When you walked in, I was counting up how much protein the different items in my morning breakfast would add up to. And why is that so important? Especially for us seniors, but not only for seniors, but for the disabled, the poor, working poor, and even the middle class now with the way prices are. Because I know if you're like me, you're cutting back on certain things. And one of those is probably meats, dairy, seafood, and stuff of that nature because of the price increases. And we're tending to be going more for noodles and pastas, vegetables and such. But we may not be doing ourselves any great service by doing that. And what do I mean by that? Well, protein, especially for us seniors, well, it's vital for everybody. And why is it vital? For building and maintaining muscle mass. Yeah, and you might have noticed over the years, if you look in the mirror, your muscle mass gets less and less. Yeah, it does. The older we get, the more muscle mass we lose. It's just what happens to us getting old. It's part of old age. But we don't want to increase the rate at which we do lose. And we can do all that by getting enough protein in our diets each day. Yes, we can. And you might wonder, how much do we need? Well, it used to be, they thought, we should get 0.8 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight. Yeah, that's right. So I weigh 155 pounds. So that's 70 kilograms at 0.8, 56 grams. And that would be enough protein to maintain my muscle mass on that day. But see, you got to get to 56 grams each day to maintain. Now, if you want to build mass, muscle mass, like bodybuilders, weightlifters, other athletes do, well, you've got to somehow get more protein into your diet. And a lot of them do that by doing protein shakes, all types of protein supplements. I mean, there's thousands of them. And you can do that too. A popular one that people do are protein drinks like Boost. Us seniors, Ensure. Yeah. And if you've noticed, pretty much on anything that's sold now in the grocery store, it'll tell you how much protein is in it. And of course, the best sources of protein are the sources that have increased so much in price over the last few years. That being meats, poultry, fish, seafood, cheese, any type of dairy products, yogurt. And then we got our plant-based proteins. that come from beans, lentils, peas, and even spinach. Did you know that 1 cup of cooked spinach has 5 grams of protein? And our protein requirements, like I say, change with age. Like I say, it was once thought that 19 years and above and seniors required the same amount of protein. But now they're saying, through newer research, that we seniors need even more. Instead of that 0.8 grams of protein per kilogram of weight to maintain, we need at least 1.1 to 1.2 or even more, depending on how active we are, our health conditions, and what have you. And another fact, you might look in the mirror and say, well, my body hasn't changed much. But with seniors, what happens to us is we lose muscle mass, and unfortunately, we replace it with fat. And that's a fact. Yeah, you got to be honest about, when you look in the mirror, what's going on. It's not all about total size sometimes, as it is by the sum of what's making our size. And when I get out of the shower and look in the mirror each day, I'm honest about what the little old man looks like. Yeah, I'm not no Humphrey Bogart or Cary Grant anymore, or Arnold Schwarzenegger. Now, at one point in time, well, I never was an Arnold Schwarzenegger, but I had good defined muscles. You could see them in my chest, my arms, my legs. Yeah, not so much now. Things are starting to sag. They're starting to get loose. But we don't only need protein to maintain our muscle mass, but we need it to maintain our strength. Yes, we do. Our grip strength, that's something else that fades away in seniors. We just can't grip things like we used to. I mean, I struggle a lot of times now to open a jar. And when my son was here, I could just call him in. He's a big man. He could just wrench it open, no problem. But not me. So I've had to, find ways to get around that. Because I don't have the grip strength. I don't have the arm strength. Nor do I have the leg strength anymore. So a lack of protein causes us to have less strength in our muscles than we once had. And that affects our walking, our speed of walking, I found out. Yeah, I wouldn't have thought about that. Now, I'm not running no more. I do good, to walk as much as I want, let alone get out there and try to jog or run. Yeah, my old joints won't take that. But another thing I found out too, what a lack of protein does in seniors' diets, is it affects our bone density. And that was something else I didn't know. Yeah, it can help prevent the onset of osteoporosis. By having strong, well-developed muscles, it causes our bones to be more dense and to lose less calcium. No, I didn't know that, did you? So here again, that gets back to protein being so vital to all of us seniors as we age. But another thing I found out in looking all into this here recently, and it wasn't that I didn't know most of it. I wanted to do some newer research into it in depth, not only for my own, but for others I talk to that are very close to me and I care a lot about. And in doing so, I also found out that decrease in protein consumption as we age can also be linked to reduced cognitive health. Yeah, our memory. So here again, it's vital that we get enough protein every day. And because we get it one day, and maybe the next, we don't get enough. It's not like we seniors have a bank that we can pull from in our body anymore, because our muscle mass is getting less and less with every day and every year if we don't do our due diligence to eat enough to keep it up. And I see that happening in so many seniors, and it's so sad. And I'm aware. I've been doing that too because of prices of meat, poultry, fish, dairy, cheeses, You know, the list goes on and on. We all know that. We're all looking for cheaper ways to eat. But in finding those cheaper ways to eat, we're not doing ourselves the good we think we are. Yep. I mean, yeah, finding cheaper alternatives than all of that is great. But if we're doing it at the expense of our bodies, what are we doing in the long end? But shortening our life and making it harder for all of us to get by. So yeah, that's why I was counting up the protein today. And I do every day with every meal now. And I've been doing it for quite some time. It's sort of become habit with me. Now back in my younger days, yeah, I worked out. I lifted weights. I lifted barbells and bar weights. Yeah, never had a machine. You know, I tried to stay, nice and firm and trim. And I accomplished that. But yeah, I've noticed, especially over the last, I'd say 5 to 6 years, I've seen a decrease greatly in my muscle mass and my strength. And something else that's really been plaguing me here the last year or two is my fatigue. And that was another thing I didn't know about protein. You know, if you got a lack of protein in your diet, it makes you fatigued even more than you would be based on your health conditions. Like OCPD fatigues you. Cancer treatment fatigues you. And I've been through both of those in the last, year. So on top of that, by not eating enough protein, I'm just making my condition worse. Because we need the protein to replace the muscle cells, the organ cells that we're losing even while I'm speaking to you and you're watching this. So I'm going to leave a link below the video where you can just get a general overview of your protein needs. And maybe you'll dig a little deeper into it. I'll leave a link to a study that goes way in depth if you're really wanting to get into it. Yeah, I mean, it goes into things like how much muscle mass we lose. Most seniors are losing, by the time you're 78 years old, you've lost 25%. But here again, you replace that 25% of muscle mass with an increase of 34% in fat. Another thing I didn't know. But even I got a little bit around the waistline. More than I used to have. I try to keep it sucked in for all of y'all. But yeah, I gotta get back to my breakfast and have that fine breakfast. And when it comes lunchtime, even though you might not be here, I'll be looking down at my plate, counting up my protein to see how much I got to go by the end of the day. So yeah, that's what I wanted to talk to y'all about today. Was maybe it's about time you start looking at your meals and counting up how much protein each one's giving you. And at the end of the day, depending on whether you're female or male or quite active or not, seeing if you're reaching your minimum daily requirements for protein in your diet. And yeah, fruits and vegetables, they all have a little bit. But it's those meats and seafood and dairy and yogurts and all of that where you get the biggest bang for your buck. So, until I see you all on that next video and episode of Mr. Tom's Neighborhood, y'all take care. Stay safe out there. And may God bless you all as you bless those in your lives. Goodbye for now. Yep, I gotta eat me some breakfast. I'm starving to death. I'm feeling rather better. I keep this up, yeah, I might run a marathon. No, later on.